A very good morning, everyone. Welcome to the very first episode of the Anfield Debrief, and thank you for joining me, Rana Aditya, on the Anfield Daily. You guys are the ones that make this channel great, obviously, but I see a lot of you are viewing these videos but are not liking the video or subscribing to the channel. So, if I may ask, if I may ask, before we proceed with our daily program, if you can hit that subscribe button and help me out here. I'm trying to reach a 50 subscribers as soon as possible. So if you could hit that subscribe button, it would be really, really helpful. And thank you for that. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking this video. And thank you for turning on the notification bell icon. So without any further ado, let's just get on with the today's program. Right. So, what am I trying to achieve with this program? What am I trying to, connect with you people through this program is that we are going to be analyzing, discussing about Arne Slot's post-match press conference, the questions that he was asked, the answers that he gave, what leads does it give out? Is there any speculation out there? We will discuss all of that stuff in today's video. So, without any further ado, let's just get on with it. All right, so Liverpool FC had a brilliant game yesterday against Brentford, and it was one such game where, even though it lacked a little bit of control, you knew that the team was in transition, and you can already see the changes that Arne Slot wants to implement in this team. You can already see the compactness in defending, and the possession based game that he's trying to invoke on these players who were all very much drilled in counter pressing from the start till the end. Run after the ball, get the ball, and the turnaround time after you get the ball to score a goal was insanely small in a Klopp's team. But then, since Arne Slot has come in, we are looking at going through a patient approach. We are trying to build up, and build up towards the goal is everything that we are concentrating on now. So that was one of the examples yesterday, because the first goal was a proper counter attack, very very direct football. Konate to Salah to Jota, and beautiful pass to Luis Diaz, who just finished it with his left foot. Um, Absolutely fantastic. That was counter attack at its best. That was Jurgen Klopp at its best, right? The second goal, however, Szoboszlai, and Luis Diaz just linking up. Luis Diaz pass to Mo Salah, who just finishes it. The build up to that goal was really really good, and just 30-40 seconds back, and Van Dijk switches the play from left to right. It was a brilliant goal to watch. Honestly, that is slot ball. So we had two variants of goals yesterday, and it was an excellent watch. And if you want to rewatch the game, you can always go to lfctv.com. They have the full game in there. You can always rewatch the game if you haven't watched it. But it was a fulfilling game, honestly. 2-0 win, a clean sheet, so it was absolutely brilliant. Now let us get on. Post game, there were some issues brewing about. Trent Alexander-Arnold, honestly, not happy with him being taken off in the 72nd minute, and Mo Salah also taken off. So we will be discussing all of that, and what questions were asked of Slot during the post match press conference. And the first question was basically of his assessment of the game. He's said, and I quote, "Positive for many reasons. I think Brentford showed last week with their first goal, but in general, also in their first game, that they can play out from the back really good. They try to do this here as well sometimes. It worked better than other moments, but they are also really threatening on the counter attack, and they are obviously a big threat on set pieces. I guess we saw that in yesterday's game. They had a bunch of corners to play around with, and I honestly thought Ibu Konate. I mean, I remember that one time when Ibu Konate made that clearance, and him and Allison and Van Dijk were like, "Yes, come on now, this is absolutely brilliant." You know, our defense was solid. Ivo Konate had a fantastic game. Virgil van Dijk had a seamless game. Like he was just absolute Rolls Royce yesterday. And Slot goes on to say that I think the only threat they had today was the set piece where Alison Becker saved us in the second half. Yes, there was a corner. It was headed out by Janelt or Nathan Collins, someone. And Allison just saved it and then punched it, farther away. That was a brilliant save from Alison Becker. It was also pleasing to see that from their set piece, we could score our first goal. Yes, absolutely. It was a brilliant counter-attack goal, as I mentioned before. Um, they had a corner and then Konate wins the ball again. Brilliant in the air. Our centre backs were just absolutely brilliant in the air yesterday. And it was a seamless transition, like I like to say. Absolutely brilliant. And yeah, the second question that was asked of Slot, Klopp, man, I need to get this Klopp out of my head, man. Seriously. The second question that was asked out of Slot is the quality of the first goal. And he said, and I quote, "It's a nice to inherit a team and individuals that are so special." And that's what you saw in the first goal as well. I think Lucho finished it off really good. Mo won an important duel around the 18-yard box because this is what the margins in football are. And if he would have lost the duel, they would have maybe got a shot on target. He won the duel, and then we could counter attack. And Diogo Jota made a great pass with the right timing and a great run from Lucho, and he finished it off really well. Exactly. I wouldn't even want to add anything more to that statement. It's been absolutely brilliant. The first goal was insanely good quality, and it shows that we are a threat from counter attack as well. So it was absolutely brilliant. Now, coming to the juicy part, on Trent Alexander Arnold being substituted in the second half, when Slot was asked of this, he said, and I quote, "He didn't look that happy after being taken off. I understand. Every player wants to play 90 minutes, but I don't think that there were the players that were on the bench from the start were really happy with the choices I made. But Trent came back from the national team, where at the beginning of the tournament he played quite a lot. Then he didn't, had a few weeks off, came back. It's only his third game, and we have to take care of him as well because we need him for the whole season and not only for the first two games." There was a video circling around in the Twitter or X, as you may call it right now, where Slot was talking to Trent and he looked really, really unhappy, didn't he? But I don't mind that in a player, because whenever a player does that, it means that he's very, very eager to play. And that mentality and that mindset is really something that I really, really appreciate. So Arnold being like that, I have no qualms about it whatsoever. And Slot goes on to say that the good thing for me is that I have a very good backup as well with Connor. So that means we are taking good care of Trent, but he played a really good game. That's also what I saw. Exactly what I also saw. Trent was everywhere in the pitch. Did you see the heat map of Trent Alexander-Arnold yesterday? He was even playing on the left wing, left back, whatever. Just go watch my post-match retrospect. I would have analyzed the entire game there. But Trent was absolutely fantastic yesterday, and you can see that he was sort of this right-sided winger sometimes, a number 10 sometimes. He was very creative with the passes and very direct as well sometimes, and that's something that you really, really love to see. And I mean, this, I know that there are some people just spreading controversies that he's not very happy here, he's going to Real Madrid next season, but I'm really, really calm about the situation. I'm pretty sure that he's going to sign a new contract and stay with us. I mean, this is just a normal reaction from a star player who just wants to play every single minute of every single game, and I don't have any complaints about it. And neither do I have any complaints about players sitting on the bench that wants to come on and are not happy. This is a very, very good problem for a manager to have when you have quality players all around and they all want to play. That is something that I really, really adore about a football team, and I'm really glad that we are right in the middle of it, right? Then the journalists go on to ask Schlott about the reception he received from the home supporters, and he goes on to say, the reception of the fans was similar to the reception I got from all the people in and around the AXA. So I think I cannot speak for all of the managers, but I think maybe all of them would tell you the same. Every manager that comes in here feels the warmth of this club, feels the appreciation of the fans, and the most important thing we have to do as managers is to make sure that the team plays in a style that the fans like to see. That's what we are trying, and I think the boys showed that, and the fans showed their appreciation for that, I think. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. We really, really appreciate the type of football that you bring into this football club because let's be honest, we've grown up on, I mean, especially me, I have grown up on Jurgen Klopp's ball, wherein it's counter pressing, high energy, just direct goal, attack, just, breathe down the opponent's net for almost 90 minutes of every single game of every single season for the past 9 years. And this approach is a little bit different where we have to have a patient build up, but then we get the results at the end of it. It is just being a little more cautious so that we don't lose the ball in those areas that we really, really don't want to lose the ball in. If we do not have to take a risk at any point in time, we don't have to take a risk. It was a bit different under Jurgen Klopp. It's a bit different under Arne Slot, and this is a welcome change as well. Like I said, any positive change is always welcome at Anfield, and that is exactly what this is. And then one of the journalists goes on to ask his side's encouraging start to the season, and he says, yes, it is 2 wins against difficult opponents because Brentford had a very good opening game last week. But there is still a lot for us to prove in the season coming up because I said it a few times already. I think both of the teams, Ipswich and Brentford, deserve our respect for the way they have played against us. But I'm not expecting one of the two to be in the top six in the upcoming season. So there is still a lot to prove for us. But it is always good to start off with 2 wins and with 2 clean sheets. Exactly. Exactly. Just getting things into perspective is very, very important for a manager, especially at the start of the season. Yes, we had two good wins. Yes, 2 clean sheets, absolutely fantastic. But let's not forget that this is Ipswich and Brentford we are talking about. The real test is Manchester United next week, and we need to keep that in mind. Uh, and then he goes on to say about Jones's injury. He doesn't basically disclose anything here. He just says that we cannot say anything about injuries. It has something to do with the privacy, is what he thinks. And he also mentioned that he's a bit close to getting in to the squad for Manchester United next week, but not surely a starter. So I think what I try to understand is Curtis Jones will try and do everything that he can to possibly get into that squad, but it is not that easy. Coming back from an injury, maybe he needs one more week off, is what it means. And they also ask him about Wataru Endo and what he has to do to play more minutes. And he goes on to say that it is not always about the player himself, it's also about the competition he faces. We have many good midfielders, like we have many good players. We are really pleased with the way Wata is training for us, but he has some good competition. And I think you saw today a good performance from all three midfielders, which is absolutely true. So it is not always about him, it is also about the others. He will be important for us during the season because we all need him. We all know how long a season can be over here and how many players you need. Exactly, mate. We need everyone fit and up and running in case something happens. And he is one of them that we are going to need in the upcoming season. Absolutely. We have the FA Cup to concentrate on. We have the Carabao Cup to concentrate on. We have the Champions League in a new format to concentrate on. And we have 38 games to be played in the Premier League, out of which we have only played 2 so far. So every single player out there is absolutely important for the football club right now. And we have sold a bunch of players. So now our squad is thin, and Arne Slot likes to work with a thin squad, but he needs to ensure that whatever players that are sitting on the bench is absolutely fit as well, so that when they come on, there is absolutely no difference between the first team and the players sitting on the bench. So these were the questions that were asked of Arne Slot during the press conference, and to be fair, So far, whatever I've seen of him, he's been absolutely immaculate in his press conferences, not giving too much on the injuries front, not giving too much on the transfers front as well. It's a bit different to Jurgen Klopp, of course, but we are all in the adapting phase. And he's also quite funny in his own way. And there are also these misconstrued notes that are being taken just because he doesn't know the language that much and he's Dutch and all that. So there are some misconceptions in the way he speaks. But it's absolutely fine, mate. And so far, really, really happy with Arne Slot. He's just slotted right in. Glenn Hoddle said yesterday in the post-match analysis show on Star Sports. But it has been absolutely fantastic. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today on a Monday. It's been absolutely a lovely, lovely start to the week, shall I say. And hopefully it is for you as well. And if you really like the show, hit that subscribe button, hit the likes, and hit the notification bell icon. You can also follow the Instagram page, for which I have linked it down below in the description. And you can follow me on Twitter at Aditya LFC. So, without any further ado, let me give you back the day to you. And thank you so much for joining me and listening to this beautiful, beautiful. Shall I say beautiful? I don't know. You tell me in the comment section below. So, until next time, see you. Ciao.